Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope that I find you well as usual and you're all having a smashing day so far, and thank you ever so much just for popping over to check out this wee recipe. So today I'm going to be doing a classic Scottish shortbread with a wee bit of a twist. I'm going to add in some chocolate chips. Now I'm using milk chocolate, but you could use white chocolate or dark chocolate, whatever you fancy. And I'm not even going to use the stand mix today. I'm going to do it all in the one bowl, so it's super simple, and also you're not going to have to roll this out, so it really does not get any easier than this. In fact, I'm going to call this one idiot proof, but it is absolutely delicious. But just before I move on, I wanted to say a big thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page. So again, thank you very much, guys. It does mean ever so much for, supporting the channel. And if you're interested in Patreon yourself, I'll leave a link just underneath this video if you want to go and check it out. So yeah, like I said, really easy recipe. Everything gets done in the one bowl. Just dump it out into a pan and press it down. No rolling involved. How brilliant is that? And this will make quite a good few biscuits as well. But if you want more, just double up the recipe. The method I'm going to show you is known as the 1 to 2 to 3 method, and that basically means if you're using 100 grams of butter, you would use 200 grams of sugar and 300 grams of flour, and that's going to give you a lovely crumbly texture. And because you're not brutally rolling this out, you're just pressing it into your tin, it's going to result in a lovely crumbly, much lighter shortbread. Just perfect in my opinion. Yeah, so let's move on and I'll show you what you're going to need. And as usual, all of the ingredients along with their weights in grams and ounces will be in the show more box underneath this video. So the first thing I've got there is 100 grams of milk chocolate chips, but like I said, use dark or white or whatever you like. I've got 150 grams of softened unsalted butter. I've just cut that into cubes because it makes it easier for rubbing in and creaming your sugar together. I've got 225 grams of plain or all-purpose flour, and I've got 75 grams of caster sugar. If you can't find caster sugar, just use ordinary granulated sugar. I mean, caster sugar is just a finer version of granulated sugar, so either will do. And I've also got a pinch of salt, and that's it. Only a few ingredients. So let's move on and I'll show you what you need to do. So grab yourself a fairly big mixing bowl because you don't want it all flying over the top. The first thing you want to add is your butter. Then to that you want to add your sugar. And all you're going to do is cream these two together until the sugar is worked well into the butter. Now, this will be a wee bit, be quite tough to begin with. But after a minute or so, it'll be really easy and it'll be lovely and soft, and you should have something that looks like this, and you can move it around quite easily. So once you're at that stage, you can grab your flour. You just want to add this in 2 stages. So grab yourself your salt, pop a wee pinch or 2 into your flour and give it a whisk, just to incorporate that salt throughout your flour. So like I said, you just want to add your flour in 2 stages. So pop half into a sieve, just to make sure there are no lumps in there. And then you just want to combine these ingredients until they're fully mixed together. This will only take you a minute or so, but I'll speed it up anyway. You just want to if you're using a spatula like mine, just sort of cut it through with the side like that. Makes it a lot quicker. Easy peasy. And once you're at that stage, you can pop your other half in. Again, we're just making sure there are no lumps in there. And just do exactly the same, but this time at the end you'll have something that looks like quite large breadcrumbs. It should all look nice and crumbly and quite uniform. So this is ideal, something like this. So once you're at this stage, you can pop in your chocolate. So like I said, I'm using milk, but use dark or white, or don't use any. It's up to you. So pop them in. You just want to give this a mix as well. And that's it done. I mean, how easy was that? So you're going to have to grab yourself a tin. This is the one I'm using. And you want to line that with baking paper and just pop your mixture in. Give it a wee shake to level it out a wee bit. Now you want to get something just to flatten it down. You can even use your hand, once you get going, just to make sure it's right up into those corners and the same sort of level. Once you're happy and it's nice and flat, just go along and, mark out where you want your biscuits to be. You don't have to cut all the way through. You just want a rough guide. Then once you're happy, just go all over your biscuits and prick with a fork, just to let the steam escape so your biscuit batter doesn't bubble up. And that's your times there. So gas mark 3, 160C or 325 Fahrenheit for between 35 and 40 minutes. You want that in your oven. Just pop it into the middle of your oven, just till it's starting to colour around the edges. And whilst it's still warm and in the tin, just go in with a knife and cut straight through to the bottom whilst it's still warm. And once you've cut your biscuits, just let it sit there until it cools. And once it's cooled down a good bit, you can that lifts straight out. And then you can either have these right away, or if you've got, if you can, let it cool. And these will quite easily break up. And just to be doubly sure, I'm just going to go through them again to loosen them off with my knife. And Mr. Watsfortea is standing right beside me. And he keeps putting his hand out. He's going to pinch one of the wee bits at the top in a minute. Wait till you see. He just cannot wait. He's so impatient. And don't they look fab? You can do these any size or shape you like. These are, that's just the size I chose to do mine. There's one away. That's it gone. And another one will disappear in a wee second. So yeah, these turned out fantastic. And as you can see, they're absolutely packed with chocolate. But it's up to you how many. That's it gone. It's up to you how many you use. I used 100 grams, but if you don't like them quite as chocolatey as this, you just pop in 50 grams or none. As I said, it's up to you what you put in. They are, at the end of the day, your biscuits. And I like to store these when they're completely cooled down. I wrap mine individually in cling film and they will last quite a while. In fact, the next day they will firm up a good bit as well, if they last that long, because nothing in my house ever lasts that long. But that was it. Like I said, super easy and super, it really is easy because there's no rolling involved. And even if you don't have a stand mix, you can do it in the one bowl like I've just shown you very easily indeed. So thank you very much, guys, for popping over just to check out this wee recipe, like I said in the beginning. And it does mean ever so much. And if you're still here at this point, if you put a wee, I'm trying to think what you can put in the comments box down below. I like doing these wee kind of tests just to see who is actually here at the end. If you just pop in a wee emoji of some sort, let me think. If you put down a wee pink heart, or if you don't have emojis on your phone, if you just type pink heart, then I'll know that you're stuck on till the end of the video. And I will be back tomorrow with my what I eat in a day Slimming World version. So a lot of you were interested to see that. So hopefully I'll see you back for that. But until I see you next, take care of yourselves and bye for now. Bye now.